when this man realized he had 80 years to live. Surprisingly, he leapt from 100 meters in the air, landing perfectly on a truck full of sand. Realizing he truly couldn't die, he decided to raise the difficulty. He raised the altitude to 10,000 meters, and still landed on an approaching airplane. But not everyone can do that and still not die. Even if they're careful to stay alive, they can't escape death. Like this girl, Ellie, who found out she had only 3.5 hours left to live. So in order to avoid any accidents that could cause her death, Ellie refused a ride home from her boyfriend. She chose to walk home on her own. That's when her cell phone rang. It indicated that she had violated the terms of use. It adjusted her remaining lifespan to just 1 minute. She ran home in fear, thinking that she could escape from her fate. But then her cell phone wouldn't stop ringing. The only thing Ellie could think of was to turn it off. But her death didn't end when she turned it off. Just as she was about to go into the bathroom to take a shower, her cell phone suddenly rang. Ellie tried to reach for her cell phone in fear, but she was lifted up by a mysterious force. With the countdown to 0, Ellie died instantly. However, not long after Ellie's death, her boyfriend, Jack, was also involved in a car accident. A tree trunk stabbed right into the passenger side. That means if Ellie had left in Jack's car, she would have died in the accident too. Jack was also hospitalized after the accident, but he refused to go into surgery that night because Jack knew he was gonna die that night. Then he took out the cell phone in his pocket and showed it to the nurse. It displayed only 19 hours left to live. In other words, whether he had the surgery or not, he would still die. Lisa tried to comfort him, saying it was just a program. Jack had to tell her about predicting his girlfriend Ellie's death. Seeing that Lisa still didn't believe him, he had to go away to cool off. However, Lisa shared the program with her co-workers. Curious, they all downloaded the app and found they each had decades left to live. Lisa's cell phone showed that she only had 2 days left, but she still thought it was just a program and didn't care about it. But what happened next convinced her that the program was real. Jack found out that night that he had 3 minutes to live. He knew he was going to die on the operating table, so he decided to avoid the operation, and that's when his cell phone rang. It also said that he had violated the terms of use. Jack immediately put the phone back in his pocket. He decides to leave the hospital, only to see a figure behind him in the hallway mirror. When he looked back, there was nothing there, but just then, Jack was so scared, he rushed into a stairwell to escape the danger, but he couldn't escape death. The lights went out in an instant, and that's when the software said Jack's countdown to death was 1 minute away. He tried to open the door to get out of here, but he realized he couldn't open the door. At that moment, there was an urgent sound of footsteps behind him.